happy Sabbath day and happy summer.
Happy summer.
It's still here, right?
It's still
We
here.
are here, baby.
It's running.
Live
It's
and
trying to
living
run away,
color.
though. It's trying to run away.
Talk about trying to run away.
This is the second week, isn't it? Going on.
Well, we got it going on because
It
we're
felt like
here.
fall to me.
But it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anytime we can wake up and see it, it could rain, hail, snow.
Thank God.
Here to see
I
it.
thank you.
God for being
Yes,
here.
yes,
We are
we
here
do.
with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Four Sisters Live. I'm Wyoming.
I'm Linda.
I'm Peg.
And I'm Kathy.
And she is sitting in for our dear sister Charlene. Charlene is always doing
Celebrating
her
her birthday. That's
Well,
what it is.
this time she is. Well, hanging out doing her birthday. I think she's going to call in, though.
She is good.
Yes, she. I know we should do all of that. So that's happy birthday. Where's Leo time? I can say because I'm a Leo.
I'm
So
a Leo,
it's Leo
Virgo.
Nations, Leo's rock,
All right,
baby.
I'm a Scorp. I'm a Scorp.
Oh,
Okay.
Now your time's coming. Your time is
My
coming.
time is coming.
Well, mine is April, but my daughter's birthday was yesterday.
All right. Yeah. Another Leo. Woo.
Hey. The Leos are in the house, baby.
That's
so
right.
this is where we are. We're celebrating, and we're celebrating birthdays. We're celebrating life.
Yes.
Yes.
My sister's looking good up here today.
Yeah,
good.
too, baby.
Yeah,
Look
look
at
at
you.
I'm trying to be bright, you know.
That's what we needed. That we needed to look.
I tried on my red.
Because I'm always in
today.
dark, you know, dark colors.
See there, you were wrong. You
But,
right.
Yeah, I know. But it's all
girl,
good. Thank you,
birthday
baby.
girl.
I'm still in celebrating mode,
I know you
yes,
are.
What
is this
still
thing
celebrating.
still in my ear for?
Somebody's going to call you.
No.
Somebody's going to call
The
you.
kid, I'm not connected to anything.
But I'm going to tell you, we're going to have fun today. We're going to have a fantastic time.
Awesome
we have
show.
some awesome guests. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about our guests.
Yeah.
You all
too.
just don't know how excited I am. We have some legends in the house today.
Ooh, good
Yes.
stuff.
And
Good
some
stuff.
good things, some good entertainment, some awesome things getting ready to come our way in our community. Something that has not happened before, I don't think.
What's
It's one
that?
of the first things that's going to be happening in our community that is going to be introduced to us later on today on our show. Surprise, surprise. We'll let you know, Linda. It's the first time.
Okay. Surprise.
No, but we're going to be introduced to an event that's going to be going on. Okay. And I believe it's one of the first that has been happening here in our community. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I am a Southeast girl from day one, baby.
I'm Northeast.
So, that's my clue.
Oh, okay, calm
That's
down,
my
guys.
clue.
Calm down.
Northeast.
It's not
George
about
is in the house,
It's-
okay?
Look,
Northeast is in the H
look,
Street is in
wait
the
a minute,
house.
Hold on, Linda. Calm down. Pipe that down. Pipe that down.
Piping us down.
Damn. It's not about Northeast today. It's not about Prince George's County
That's
today.
okay. It's all right.
not about the Maryland and Virginia today. It's about Southeast D.C., baby, today. I just want y'all to know. Giving you heads up. Heads up.
All right.
Facebook, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good job.
Love you
Good
for
job.
watching. But yeah, we are going to have a great show. You know how we do. We're bringing the best of the best, and we're growing in what we do. But look, this is what I would like for you all to do. Go on Facebook. You're already on Facebook. Go on Facebook page. Number 4, Sisters Live. And like our page.
Please.
Just like our page. Send people there to like our page.
Tell everybody to come and look at us.
Yeah,
hear
and
what
watch.
we have to say for the community.
And
absolutely.
call
We're about
in.
the community.
They can
And call in, please, and then we
Yeah.
know you're out there.
Right.
Please.
Yeah, the call-in number is 240-719-2560. 240-719-2560. Give us a call, but by all means, spread the word about what we're doing because we are getting ready to do some wonderful things, and we want you to be a part of it. We want to let you know.
And we want you to come on the show.
We want you to come on the
You
show.
can come on the
and
show.
be a part of our show.
Yeah.
Look, I talk about what we do here. This platform, we're set to give out information.
That's
Yes.
it.
We're set to give out good information about the community, what's going on. Don't cost you a dime.
That's right.
Hello, can't
Don't
be
cost
free.
you nothing.
Can't be free.
Don't cost you nothing.
All right, stop it, guys.
Okay, so anyway. just
So
like
they
that
acting
here.
up in the studio, right?
I know.
Guess
Because they
what?
know they can really look. He was playing Peebo Bryson when we walked in. I
Oh,
was like,
really?
yeah, I lost it, baby. Who know about Peebo Bryson?
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
All the
They
girls
know
knew about
music.
Peebo Bryson.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd plug that. But my point is that we're talking about great things, talking about good stuff that's happening in the community.
Yeah.
Every Saturday of the month, we'll bring you different segments. The first Saturday is domestic violence.
Yep.
Second Saturday, health and wellness. Third Saturday is our education segment. And the fourth is our entrepreneurship. And if there's a fifth Saturday, we talk about the community. We bring it all together in the community. And today, somebody say today.
Today.
This is our second Saturday, which is our health and wellness segment.
Yes.
And this is our lovely, wonderful Linda, who heads up our health and wellness
Trying to
committee.
keep everybody healthy and wealthy.
Yeah, well, we talked about that at the
Yes.
beginning of the year. We said if we want to get your health together and we want to get your wealth together.
Right.
And in
Yes.
order to spend wealth, you got to be healthy. And
Yes.
you must be healthy. So we want to talk about that. We are going to have some things even relative to our young people. You know, our young people not healthy as they should.
No,
No,
they're
that's
not.
not.
Because they're eating all this fast food, junk food.
I mean, it's a lot that they need to be educated on.
They're
relative
feeding you
to
some
their
stuff
health.
that you don't even know you are eating, GMOs and
All that stuff.
It's a lot. And
It's a
so
lot.
we want to
It's a
educate
lot.
our young people.
We got to go back to the farm.
That's right.
We got to go back to
But
farming.
believe it or not,
We
there
need
are
to go
They're
back
bringing
to
the farms
farming.
to the city
That's what
now.
I was
In
just
the
getting
backyard,
ready to
if we
say.
have to.
I was just getting ready. No,
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
Grow
We
your greens in your
That's
backyard.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
grow
That's
something
right.
else other than the other green stuff.
Oh my.
Green stuff. That's healthy too.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what they say.
If it's
it's medically-
from God,
Well,
it's
that's
green.
true.
It's good.
Medically proven.
Green is good. Green is
Right,
good.
FDA approved. Hey,
Yeah,
why
green
not?
is good.
But the point is,
Yeah.
we need to do our the greens. Do your greens, drink your greens, eat
Yeah,
your
the
greens.
cabbage.
But we need those healthy.
You can put your sweet
nutritional
potatoes in
things
your
in
yard, your
Yeah.
tomatoes.
It's fun. It would be fun.
I used to grow tomatoes. I lived in Marbury Plaza. Southeast.
Okay, okay.
Oh, yeah,
Used to.
Southeast.
She used to.
I lived there for like 20 years. I lived in Southeast.
Okay.
I love. I'm South.
On Good Hope
I grew
Road.
up in the on
Okay, so
Good
you
Hope
grew
Road.
up. So what
So
were you
anyway,
growing?
what's that?
Potatoes, sweet potatoes.
I was growing tomatoes,
Oh,
pepper,
tomatoes.
green peppers,
There you go,
hot
girl.
peppers, all on my
On your
balcony.
balcony. On
the
On
balcony.
my
On her
balcony.
balcony.
So there's no excuse. So every
That's right.
summer,
No,
but that's true.
every summer
That's
I
true.
had my tomatoes going on and my little hot peppers and
That's
green
right.
peppers, and I look forward to
And the
so you-
tomatoes.
and
Oh, my
tomato
God.
was so good.
From
so
the
you have
ground,
total
yeah.
control. You get total. I had a southwest view. I was like, okay. You had
But
the
they had
view.
the sun.
They had the
sunlight that
They
could
had
help
the-
to grow and
So
be
that's all
healthy.
you need. God has sun
Absolutely.
everywhere, so you can do it in your
Yeah,
backyard.
yeah.
That's right.
You can do it.
And believe it or not, well, not believe it or not, but they have some farmland that's raising some vegetables and some
In different parts
everything.
of DC,
And the-
they have
and
that.
in Southeast DC.
Yeah.
Check out some of the
Yeah.
areas that are having some farm growing in your area. And fresh fruit. They have vendors too as well that you can go out and purchase.
On Saturday
You don't have
morning
to-
in my
yeah.
neighborhood, we have
Oh, really?
a farmers market that
Okay.
comes right off of H Street on 13th and H.
Yeah.
Right. So just
No
look for the
excuses.
little. They have all these markets that you can go to. They open up during the week and on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Downtown, even downtown Chinatown, they have one.
Yeah.
So
they have them all over. Just look them
Yeah.
up. They are listed. But
Yeah.
the main thing is try to start eating healthy. They
Please.
said that the United States, we are the most unhealthy
Man,
I believe that.
that's
in the world.
all
I
about.
truly
It's all
believe
about
it.
their
Yeah,
money.
it
That's
is.
why.
And what we choose to purchase.
Yeah.
Even some of the fast food places, they're trying to get a little healthier. But
You need to
the
slow
point
down.
is, we got to talk about it, and we are addressing it today. This is our health and wellness segment. There are so many other things relative to the health, Peggy.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about it last week. People are suffering. What food could cause cancers, and so many things that we're suffering from. Clogged arteries or whatever.
And I'm a
Healthy
victim of
heart,
that,
yeah.
so I know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's Florence is coming on to talk
Florence
about
is
that.
coming on.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
Healthy
the
hearts.
signs of
Healthy
healthy
heart.
hearts. Bottom
Yeah.
line, how to recognize a heart attack. I'm coming on, or you
Yeah.
want to prevent it. You don't even want it coming
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
No, that's right.
I had to prevent mine. That's because I listened to my body. listen to your body. Your
That's
body will
right.
tell you.
Listen to your
That's
body.
your engine light. Every time that light goes off, you feel something is hurting.
You
That's
gotta go.
God's
Warning sign.
engine light to tell you.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
And I didn't ignore it because I'm here. Thank God.
Yeah.
So tell me what you did last weekend, because we were
Last
out
weekend?
partying out, right?
Yeah.
My girl Jackie.
Oh, we talk about
Oh.
Leo Nation. Happy birthday to
Jackie
you again, Jackie
Hicks.
Jackie
Our
was
girl.
rocking
Woo.
on that all-white birthday party
Oh, I
last
missed
week,
that.
baby.
Woo.
The first weekend was the red party, which was
That was
what
your
I had
party.
Then
Yeah.
the second weekend, the following Sunday, she had the white
White
on.
party.
Right.
And we rocked it out. Didn't we?
Oh,
wow,
my
that's
God.
It was
It
so beautiful.
All
But she
right.
deserved it. Celebrating her 55th birthday.
All right.
It was
That's-
simply
and it was
wonderful.
so wonderful.
And then she performed.
Yes.
No, I
Yeah.
missed that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I performed with my production.
Oh.
Well, what happened was that she came to New York to see my production
play.
in the play, for the play, and she said, you must do it at my party. Just snippets. I just need you 15
Right.
minutes, 15 minutes. I said, okay, Jack, I got that, you know, because I do have a condensed version of it. But the point is, it's on domestic violence, and she wanted to have that honored at her birthday party because she has just an awesome testimony. And I was wondering why would she want a domestic violence, segment of us doing our play, a part of
Part
it
of her
anyway,
birthday,
part.
yeah.
And then she answered that. She said, my mom was killed.
Was
violently,
murdered,
was
yeah.
murdered, actually.
Actually,
murdered
on her birthday.
On her birthday.
No. Oh my God.
And so we did not know that.
Yeah.
And she wanted to. She said, every year on my birthday, I pretty much dedicate and somehow honor
Do something.
whether it's a cancer or whether it's domestic violence, wherever that may be, or homelessness,
Yeah.
things. But this year, she wanted to do domestic violence. So it all kind of came together.
yeah.
In reference to how it made sense for us to do it there. And we shared my play, Then Sings My Soul, musical, was there and was well received. And I thank God for the opportunity to share it.
It was
and
simply
open
beautiful.
some lives and save lives and give people hope and understanding you don't have to stay in any
don't.
kind of abuse at all. So that was
Get
wonderful.
out.
And we celebrated after that because she understood that, I still must continue to celebrate. She celebrated her mom.
right.
And we were all there to embrace her,
Yeah. That was
to
great. It
give
was so
her
beautiful.
what she needed. Yeah. So, again, thank you for the opportunity, Jackie. We love you. You already
Love
know
you,
that.
Jackie.
But yeah, last week was wonderful. This week is great, and we got some wonderful things coming up even this week.
Yeah.
That we're going to be doing some other things. So we're going to just stay tuned. We got hot picks. We got
Ooh,
some
got
things
a
we
lot
want to
of
show
hot
you that's
picks.
coming
Did
up,
good.
some events that's going to be happening. So
Yeah.
we're just trying to let the community know where you can go. You can have fun. And let me tell you something, before we go to commercial break, this is the health tip. Laughing is healthy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I make it
Yes.
part of my day.
Yes.
That's the heart.
Yes.
It is healthy to
It
laugh.
is.
That's right.
And this
It
is what we're
is.
going to do today because our guest is going to be coming up. It's going to make us laugh. We're going to have so much fun, and I'm looking forward. I love to laugh.
I'm going to tell you.
Can I tell you
Laughing will
story?
keep you youth after the commercial break. You can do it after the commercial break. We'll be right back. We love you for watching. We'll be right back.
See y'all in 2.
They gonna nerve our guests.
So what were you saying?
One morning I was dropping a friend off, giving a friend of mine a ride. And
is this going to make us laugh?
Yeah, it's going to make you laugh. Okay. And anyway, that's the whole purpose of it. And, the conversation just wasn't that great, blah, 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 blah. So when that energy got out of my car, I remembered laughter. And what I did, I just actually, I just started laughing like I had heard the funniest joke.
But
and it worked. It worked. I was surprised because I had seen that. They said laughter works.
Yeah.
If you ever having a bad day, just laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, just force yourself.
Force yourself to laugh.
Force yourself to laugh because
Wow.
eventually think of something.
Yeah.
You just force yourself
Let's
to
do
laugh.
that right now.
I did that. And you feel,
I
you
feel
feel
mighty
the
good.
endorphins. Feel the
Mighty
endorphins.
great.
You
Right.
feel it?
But no, that's
you
true,
do.
though.
You feel the
Because
you feel it
endorphins when
in
you
the-
do that.
up in here, it brings it up.
And you feel it, and I feel it right now because I did that. And trust me, the rest of my day was fine. By the time I got to work, I was cool. So I
But
tell you to do
have
that.
a choice to decide.
You have a choice.
to make yourself happy.
You do.
Yeah,
You
that's what I'm
do.
saying.
Or not,
do.
yeah.
You do.
Because if you're around people who can help you, especially if you're around good people,
Yeah.
and you have good times and you're laughing and you're having a good, that really is a healthy moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And it
So
can
you
really
have-
take away the the blues and the blahs and can forget
And
about
that's what
the
it
troubles
did. I
or
did
whatever.
not want to start my morning
Yeah.
with a
Negativity.
Yeah. With the
negative. It was a
negative
negative
energy.
thing, and so I had to push. And that's what all you have to do is to push yourself into a positive. You can
Well,
do that.
I am very excited, speaking of laughter and having a good opportunity to bring good friends and being around good people. This lady we're going to introduce you to is just awesome. She is a legend. She has been around for quite some time. Many of our millennials may not know of her, but you're going to get to know of her today. But I love her because she's been on the road with so many celebrities as an impressionist. One of our first African-American female sisters to be an impressionist.
The first.
The first.
go
The
ahead.
first.
Make
Number
it
one.
clear.
The number one.
Number
The
one.
first female impressionist. She was on the road. She had been on the road with likes of Whitney Houston, opening up for Whitney Houston. She was on with Red Fox as a manager. She was out there with Dick Gregory. She's been out there. She is a DC homegrown weed claimer.
Saturday
We
Night
know
Live.
that she is.
Saturday-
she was one of
Saturday
the
Night
first
Live.
to be a female
Saturday
of Saturday
Night
Night
The
Live.
first black
on
female
Saturday
writer
Night
for
Live.
Saturday Night
It's-
Live.
Royalty is in the house.
Royalty is in the house, baby. So
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
welcome Sylvia Traymore Morrison. Yeah.
Wow. I love coming here because, y'all bring it. Y'all bring it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I often, when I'm doing radio or television or whatever, people will say, because in most of the country of the people that do know me, they don't understand that I am the first, not
first.
not
Just the
one of
first.
the first. It's
Right,
like
right.
when I first started doing comedy, the only other black comedian that was out was Moms Mabley.
Wow.
Moms
Help
Mabley.
the best.
And she died in 1975. I had been in the game for about 7-8 years. There was no mentor for me. There was nobody I could go to and ask, how do you do this? Or how should I do this? Or what did you think of my set? Or what? There was nobody.
No one.
Sylvia was by herself.
Wow.
So I had to figure out everything on my own because it was a white man's genre of entertainment.
Yeah.
They ain't want no black women coming up there asking them for any help or whatever. And when we talk about, when you announce some of the people that I worked with, I remember when Whitney Houston decided she wanted me to open for her.
Oh, wow.
She was at the Warner Theater in Washington, D.C. And the guy who was supposed to open for her thought the show was on a Saturday, when in fact it was on a Friday. So she had no opening act. So Gramercy Productions, which was a part of Dimensions, Dimensions Unlimited, right?
Dimensions
Bill White.
Unlimited. Right.
They called me up and said, "Can you get down to the Warner Theater? We got Whitney Houston here, and we need an opening act." And I'm like, No, I would never be able to open. Before I could even get that out of my mouth, I was walking on the stage at the Warner Theater, and she told me, she said, "When I go on tour, I'm gonna take you with me."
Oh,
Now we're
wow.
talking Whitney Houston,
Wow.
who is kind of like the Beyonce of her day.
Yes, yes,
she was
yes.
the voice.
Yes.
Right.
And when she promised she would take me on the road, I just threw it off to the side. because, Whitney Houston, the entertainers, they say what they say and they going about the business. Right. When I got the call that she wanted to be in New York that night, it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Her show started at 7. At 6:45, I was walking in the door, and she took me to about 23 major U.S. cities, just the two of us. Wow. She didn't want nobody else on the show. Oh, wow. I opened, she closed. And that was like an amazing experience. And then, I don't know if you guys know or not, but I wrote an autobiography because people always would ask me, how did you do, when did you start? How did you get started? What made you decide? So I wrote this autobiography, and I have 2 chapters in it about Whitney.
Oh, awesome.
And the name of the book is Almost There, Almost, The Many Faces of Sylvia Tremont Morrison. Well, when we released the book in October, I never got a chance to get her a copy because she died that February.
Right.
So there's 2 chapters there, but I was on stage one day, and I just want to do this little bit for you guys so that you can see how Whitney is still blessing me. Even in her heavenly form, she still blesses me. So I'm on stage one day. I'm at a big church, about 900,000 people, whatever, sitting out of the audience. And all of a sudden, I was telling them the same story I just told you about how Whitney brought me on the road with her. And something says, talk about Whitney in heaven. And so I said, you know what? I know we all lose loved ones, and I know we wonder what happens when our loved ones die. What do you do? Okay, so a lot of people say they know their loved ones in heaven and sitting on the throne with God. And okay, so you've been up there sitting on the throne for about 8 hours. Now what? How long are you going to be sitting on the throne? Because it's like millions and millions and millions and millions of people. So in my mind, I just made this up on stage. It just came to me. I said, I think when we get to heaven, I think God assigns us mentors. I think he does to show us around heaven. That's right. This is fiction now. I even have a book out called Jelly Beans from Heaven, and that came as a result of Whitney Houston. She just blesses me even with her gone.
So amazing.
And so when she arrived in heaven, God had assigned her Lena Horne as her mentor. Oh, wow. So when Whitney saw Lena, she said, "Hey, Miss Lena, I just got to ask you one question. Am I going to get my voice back?" And Lena Horne says, "Hey, baby, we've been waiting for you a long time. Welcome to heaven. You're going to have to ask God about that because he'll fix you while you're here." And as they're walking, they see this lady, and Whitney sees one of her favorite singers coming, and the lady looks at her and says, "At last, our girl has arrived.
All right.
Her lonely days are over, and she is ours at last." Thank you. And so they get to walking, and Whitney sees this little old lady. Now this is in heaven. Everybody that she sees has already left Earth, and they're in heaven. And so she sees this little old lady, and she's like, Miss Lena, who's the old lady over there right there?" And the old lady says, "You don't have to whisper up here, honey. We in heaven, and we can hear everything going on. And for your information, when I was living on Earth, I was the scat queen. My name is Ella Fitzgerald.
All right.
And I'm here to tell you that I'm passing out the words that the youngsters and the millennials don't know. But if it wasn't for scatting, wouldn't be no rapping. Because rapping is scatting, and scatting is rapping. Rapping is scatting, and scatting is rapping. So thank you. And so the story of the jelly beans is about all these billions and trillions of jelly beans in heaven. So Whitney and Lena Horne, and they're walking, and they see this area that has nothing but jelly beans. There's just trillions of them, billions of jelly beans. And Whitney looks at Lena Horne, and she says, "Miss Lena, what's with the jelly beans?" And Lena Horne touches her heart, and she says, "Oh, baby, that's right. You just got here. You don't know about the jelly beans." She said, "I'll tell you right quick what they're about. You see all these jelly beans that only the heavenly eye can see, because the earthly eye wouldn't even be able to imagine vastness like this, because that's one of God's gifts to us. Now, every single last one of those jelly beans that you see, every one of them represents a prayer from earth. So when people pray for you, they come up to heaven in the form of a jelly bean. You see the pink ones? They represent cancer. God allows us to pick up a jelly bean and drop it on our loved ones. You hear people say, my cancer's in remission. Or you might hear somebody say, my surgery was successful. Or you might even have people asking God for financial blessing. The green ones represent the financial blessings. You got your white ones for heart disease. You got your yellow ones for depression. The blue one for men who have prostate cancer. We've got all kinds of colors like the purple for lupus. And God allows us. You always hear people say, I know they looking down on me. I know my loved one is watching over me. Well, in essence, we really are. Because all we have to do is get a prayer from somebody. And a jelly bean will come up here, and we get to get the jelly bean and drop it on our loved one and bless them. Isn't God just wonderful for that?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I just wanted to share with you guys just a tidbit of what jelly beans are.
Come on, everybody.
Yeah.
Give it up for my girl, Sylvia Trayvon Morrison.
Thank you.
We're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back. Oh, that was so great.
Yeah.
Sylvia. You bad. I mean, God just gives you what you just shared, and that is awesome because He gives us everything we need to help people to understand some things.
Amen.
That jelly bean just
like
was
that.
epiphany. It just opened us up a new eye.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I got a review from a 75-year-old man, and he said, when you read Jelly Beans from Heaven, you won't be afraid to die.
Oh, wow.
Because, sorry, it's like what what God gave me to describe about heaven. I ain't never been to heaven. I don't know what it's there.
Right here on earth, right now.
So it's like some of the descriptions in the book. I mean, it's like it's so wonderful and amazing and beautiful in heaven that people that go there, they miss their loved ones, and they don't want to come back down here. They don't want to be here. They don't. And so that was real special for me, for somebody 75. And then I had a 20-year-old comic from out of Baltimore. Her name was Candace. She sent me a review, and she said this book changed everything that I think about the afterlife and the afterlife. Wow. And it's fiction. It's not, it's not, I'm just going by what was given to me. And so I'm thankful that it's around.
But it's a wonderful thing that we have comics and we have plays and we have entertainment that keeps us alive in that respect so that we can enjoy life. And
like I
must enjoy life.
And learn how to laugh at life.
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
So most important. Yeah.
And I'm looking at the young people in here. And they don't know what it did to my heart for them to be sitting there and paying strict attention.
Oh, yeah.
You know, most youngsters,
No
they
phones
had their
allowed.
phone in there and they be doing stuff. And I was telling them that I was at a high school and you could hear a pin drop. These were high school kids, and I was explaining the whole Jelly Bean concept. And just day before yesterday, I got a note from a woman named Naja Nakika. And she was the woman whose husband was with NBC back when I replaced Richard Pryor for the Muhammad Ali roast.
Okay.
So after all those years, in 1979, they sent me a copy of the roast.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Everybody was on that roast. And when I got it was like, I was 26 years old. Watch people start calculating now. They start calculating all that.
That's right. It's good. It's good.
It's just been, I tell you,
It's a journey.
It really
It's
is.
been a wonderful journey.
Wow.
It's
Well,
been a
where
wonderful
can you find the book?
Yeah.
You can go to jellybeansfromheaven.com.
Okay.
For the people who are nearby in the area, I have a few, I might have maybe 6, I think, in the car with me. I try to carry a few just in case, because when I see people, if they recognize me, they'll go, "Can I get one of your books?" Yeah, so jellybeansfromheaven.com, or my website is sylviaoyeah.com. Sylvia with the OHYEAH.com.
Sylvia O.
OHYEAH. SYLVIA. OHYEAH.
Oh, yeah.
Sylvia, oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Sylvia, I want to ask you, the book I did, did it come from a dream? Did Whitney Houston
What
come
made
in a
you-
dream?
I was on stage.
Oh, you on stage?
I was on stage talking about my experience with Whitney. I was explaining to my audience how one day we were in Canada and it was a French-speaking community there, and I hired a person to teach me my act in French. And I got all the way out on the stage and forgot. So I'm like, dang, man, I forgot my French. And the whole audience bust out laughing. I said, wait a minute, hold up, you guys speak English? And they start clapping, yeah. And I said,
Over there.
all that time I spent, comment allez-vous aujourd'hui? Très bien, merci. Et, you know, I got my got out there and didn't know where to start. And so after one of my shows in Canada, Whitney, I would always go out front just to watch her show, because I knew she liked for all of her staff and people who worked with her to come out and watch, and I did. So she was standing on stage and she did this. You know, she was like, come here, and I'm like, oh God, what I do? I don't want to go on stage. You know, I'm young too. I'm like, I think I'm like 8 or 9 years older than Whitney. And so she kept telling me to come on the stage. I didn't want to go, so she sent security to get me.
Ooh.
Now I know I'm in
you're
trouble.
in trouble.
I'm in trouble now. So security said, Miss Houston would like for you to come on stage with her. And I said, for what? And they said, well, I don't know. She just wants you. So I went out there and I went on stage, and I'll never forget, she grabbed this hand, same hand Muhammad Ali grabbed, and she held it up in the air and she said, wasn't Sylvia fantastic? And with an audience of over 15,000 people sitting
my
there,
God.
you could hear their roar, I'm sure, for miles. Wow. And I went back to my dressing room and I broke down and cried because I had the stamp of Whitney Houston, the greatest singer in the world at that time. She was, you know, so it was, it's like after that, nobody could really tell me anything. You know, it's
That's
like,
why, yeah, but it's
oh
an
my
honor when you
God.
go on the road and
That's
understand
a
that
true
you are
blessing.
out there
Yeah.
giving your gift, because no one, you didn't have to do that. I mean, Red Fox recognized your talent.
He sent for me. I was in Europe on the Miss Black America pageant. Well, we had done the pageant, but I was one of the 4 girls they sent to entertain the American troops. And while we were there, we started getting all kind of raves from magazine articles and newspapers, because we didn't have the internet. The only way you got popular was through television, radio, magazines, newspapers, and word of mouth.
Right.
Period. You didn't go through one of those streams, you just weren't going to be found out. And he read about me and heard about me, and he said, I want to see if this black girl, well, at the time we were Negroes, you know, we didn't call ourselves black. Seriously, we were. I want to see if that Negro girl. James Brown kicked off the whole black movement, the whole black people, you know, say it loud, black and proud. And he said, I want to see if that Negro girl can do all that they're saying. And when I got back to D.C., they had a ticket waiting for me at the airport the next day, and I flew out to L.A., and I met Mr. Fox and his team, which was only about 8 people. Now, I'm used to doing events in front of thousands of people. I had 8 people. They wanted to see what I did. He said, we want to see what you do. 8 people. It's like, y'all for and then 4 more. 4 more. But they had a contract ready that he signed me on the spot.
Wow.
So that was, I didn't even realize how big of a deal that was at the time. Because I was like 20. I didn't even know I was supposed to get a lawyer to look the contract over. I just signed it. I was like, okay, I got it. Here you go. Boom. There
You were so excited. It's like, sign me up.
He was what was it? Sanford and Son was about to be the show.
the big
You know,
show.
it was,
Yeah,
ooh.
that's true. And that was in the 70s.
In the 70s. And I was just on the internet and realized that today, I think it was 3 years ago, Robin Williams, the comic Robin Williams, who's one of the comics I started out with. I started out with, when I started with these guys, they were not popular.
Right.
It was me, Robin Williams, Jay Leno, David Letterman, a girl by the name of Elaine Boozler, Rosie O'Donnell came along a little later on, Jerry Seinfeld. These were, now you notice I ain't named nobody that looked like me.
Right.
So I was out there. It was a tough,
I'm sure.
and I know for a fact that God blinded me to the racism and the discrimination that went on during that time. Because today, as conscious as I am today, they say some of that stuff today, it's on. We going. We are going. You know what I'm saying? These young people ain't playing with these people nowadays.
Right.
So how was it? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
How was it with Saturday Night Live when you performed there, or not really perform? You actually wrote for them.
Yeah.
correct?
As a matter of fact, it was at the Muhammad Ali roast where I met Garrett Morris, who was the first black guy on
Morris, he was
Saturday
funny.
Night.
Yeah.
he
Remember
was
him?
the first
Was it
one.
Bell? Garrett Morris. No.
Garrett was the first black guy. Where people think Eddie Murphy. No. It was Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris.
Right.
I love Eddie. Don't get me wrong. I got you, Eddie. I'm good. But I replaced Richard Pryor. Who gets that? I mean,
Right.
what a blessing.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor couldn't make it, so Mr. Gregory. That's how I met Dick Gregory. He didn't. He was like devastated because Richard Pryor wasn't coming. This is Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter in the world.
Right.
Ali was like 37 years old at the time. And when I tell you guys to see that man in person, when he stepped up to the back of the stage and was ready to come out on stage, I looked over there to my left and it was like God himself made this man. He made him and threw away because, I mean, I'm sorry I got to stand up. I got to show y'all this. But it was like all of his muscles and everything were in perfection.
Wow.
I mean, just like, I've never seen a man, and I was no, like, in love with Ali. I just admired and respected him for what he did and what he bought. But this was, I mean, the suit he had on probably cost about $185,000. Or at least that it looked like that. It was, oh my
Fitting.
God. And after the roast, Garrett Morris came up to me and he said, "You got to meet my boss." And I'm like, now keep in mind, Saturday Night Live was only 4 years old. So it had not become the iconic show that it is today.
Yeah.
Right.
And they weren't thinking about no black girls, for
Right.
real.
Right.
But Garrett, who's the only black guy there, saw somebody he wanted to bring over there.
Yeah.
So he said, "I want you to meet Lauren Michaels, my boss." I knew who Lauren Michaels was. He was the executive producer of the show. Still is to this day.
Yeah.
To this day, he still is. So, to his word, they sent a limousine to my apartment. I was so excited. I got a limousine. I'm going over to. They sent me over to NBC. I went in, and Garrett went in with me. We sat down and we talked to Mr. Michael. He told me what he wanted. He was a real honest white man. I cannot be mad with Lauren Michaels. He told me exactly what my position would be. He said, every time we try to do a skit about black women, it's not good. So we need you to kind of curtail what's going on. So that was really my role. But he also told me, you also might be doing like running to get our lunch or get our sodas.
The runner.
The girlfriend.
But keep in mind, how about this? At that time,
You didn't care.
I could have
Did
cared
not care.
less.
That's right.
Right.
When do you need the soda?
What
You know,
time?
because I was going to be on the set with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. You know,
Wow,
these
man.
are
Yeah,
they were
that's-
Jane
yeah,
Curtin and
yeah.
Gilda Radner. You know, it was like
So the days.
I'm
Yeah,
Yes,
girl.
indeed.
So yeah.
You have a great history.
Wow.
You need to go out and teach these to our students about what it's about and what you did and how. Even
How
you may
did
be
they-
some inspiring impressionists, or comedians, or
Yeah.
that's out
There's
there.
somebody coming out.
Workshops,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They are I have a team who's working on putting me in schools because I do, for whatever reason, I've always been afraid to go in front of young people because for a long time I didn't have any of the young people, but now I do. I bring Fetty Wap. Hey, what? I got Childish Gambino, baby. I got them all.
Yeah, you got to start your game.
So now that I got some of the young rappers and stuff, I talk about. I had asked part of the people here if they could play the most gangster rap music for me to come on, because first thing I let the youngins know is hold up. I'm a Temptations.
Well, you have to dress a certain way. Can't go with this. Do you?
No, I do.
Do you?
I do,
Okay,
because
cool.
I need for them to understand the respect level.
I got you. That's good.
Of how
That's
my
good,
age and
Sylvia.
how long I've been.
That's
This is
good.
my
That's good.
50th year doing this.
Wow.
So I don't want the youngins to think that I'm
Right.
with them, but I mean, I want them to also understand that I respect where you guys are coming from and how music and everything has evolved. I need to let my young people, and since doing that, my Instagram and Facebook is blowing up with the millennials. I got millennials. I'm like, she ain't but 23. And that one ain't but 19.
She wasn't even born, huh?
And they to watch them sit down and pay attention, because I talk about Lil Wayne. I talk about that daggone Lil Wayne. I don't understand the word he's saying. It's like, what is he saying?
Right.
And then, I talk about the names that they came up with back in the day, like Run DMC. It was not supposed to be Run DMC. It was supposed to be Run DNC. If you're going to vote and run for office, you got to run to the Democratic National Convention. And they got Run DMC. They messed up the M. It's supposed to be N.
Well, Sylvia, you have been
my
awesome.
God.
We're going to definitely have you back in another time.
Definitely.
We'd love to have your book.
Yes.
But before we go on this break, we got to go on a break. But we do know that I believe this weekend is Whitney's birthday.
It was August the 9th.
August the
Posted
9th.
it on, yeah.
Posted August the 9th.
okay.
She's a Leo. She was a Leo.
Yeah.
So we thank you so much for coming.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a commercial break, and we got another opportunity for us to laugh and understand what's coming up that's going to be in our community real soon. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Hello, my name is Keisha Martin Burney, and I am with the Martin Burney Group at RE/MAX Realty Center. I am here to assist you with all of your real estate needs. The Martin Burney Group has been selling real estate since 2002. We have almost 20 years of real estate experience. I am here to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. If you are looking to purchase a home for your first time and you need some assistance with down payment or programs that may be available, I am the person to assist you. We are the team to assist you. If you're looking to invest in property, I have over 5 years experience working with developers, investors in the Washington, D.C. and the Maryland area. If you're looking to sell a property, we certainly can assist you with selling a home, whether it's $100,000 to $1 million. You have found the right team to assist you. I can be reached at themartinburneygroup.com, on Facebook or Instagram, The Martin Burney Group, or you can give me a call at 240-398-0173. The Martin Burney Group, your real estate team for life.
Always sisters, always friends. What is the Gears? You ask who's in the Gears. You ask how is it all put together. Let us take you behind the scenes of it all. Courtesy of Lavelle Long and Vernon Williams presents. You have now been granted access to the Gears 24/7.
Wow. This is awesome. All right. All right. That is phenomenal. I mean, this is something I don't think we've ever experienced here in this area. Have we not?
Nah, it's never been done. That's the first time I've seen it on the TV.
Really?
Oh, right.
So I'm just looking at the phone. I'm like, wow. Who did that?
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, that looked good right
Look
there.
good, didn't it?
Yeah, that looked
Thanks
good.
to our producer over there,
Dante.
Dante. But no, this is our wonderful Mr. Lavelle Long Sr. And he is Southeast born in D.C., raised, and he's a leader, he's a producer, he's a playwright, he's a family man, he is a young man, and he's been out here for a long time, and he has this awesome, I didn't even read this because I tell you, you are doing some wonderful things. Entrepreneur restaurants, open up a restaurant, you just had your hands in so many things.
Yeah, I'm a convicted felony too. So I'm a convict.
That's right. You roll. That's okay.
But that
Roll
says
from
something
there.
about
That's
you.
right. Just rolls on
Yes.
up. That's right.
Yes, you've been
Rolls on
blessed.
up.
Purpose. Your purpose is here for this time, at such a time as this.
Well, I tell people God locked me up to free me.
There you go.
Right. That's
There you
right.
go.
So I've been
Slow you
learning
down.
one door closed, another one
Another
opens.
door
I
open.
always say
Right.
that.
Awesome.
That is so awesome.
Right.
We're so happy you're here. Kathy Muhammad
Yes.
is the reason why
Yeah.
Mr. Long is here today
Yeah.
to introduce. She said, you know what, I met this gentleman and he's doing this play. It's awesome. It's going to be at the MGM. And I think we need to bring him on the show to
Yes.
talk about it. So here
Yeah.
at it. Have at it. Talk to us about what's happening.
A lot of things happening. This has been an unbelievable week. I think we went from like 900 tickets last Friday, and the guy David was calling from the MGM like, "Are you sure this going to?" I say, "Hey, my people's coming. Just hold on." So we went from 900 last Friday to 2,100 this week.
Yes. All right. That's awesome.
And the venue holds how many?
3,000.
All right.
You're on your
But yeah, they talking different now. He calling. Yeah, now we're gonna sell. We averaging 200, 250 tickets a day.
All right.
That is
So-
awesome.
So
And we're going to do more Facebook, listen up. You must go and support.
Yes.
First of all, we must support.
That's right.
Yes.
That's key.
Right.
well, I'm gonna lose some bet. We're gonna sell out.
Already.
Oh, I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
that.
Last
Right.
night we did 230 some tickets, and we have a whole week ahead. And
Yeah, you sure
Right.
do.
so we're almost positive.
So give us
'Cause the last week is really our best week.
Yeah.
Your best week. It's all because
And
we
the
always
night
want to know what's
before.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, because people want to
Yeah.
know. And then you're having it at one of the best venues, one of the latest and greatest venues that we have.
Yeah.
Right.
First of the
And
kind.
the first of the kind. It's always wonderful to be the first.
Yeah.
With
Yes.
anything,
Yeah.
that, especially us as a community.
Set the
of
trend.
people.
Yeah.
Make history.
Yeah.
You're making
Making history.
Yes.
And so how did you come up with the Gears?
Well, how we came up with it, I had my bunkmate. He was a young guy, like 23, 24 years old. And he started writing. And I was, he passed it around the dorm and everybody's looking at, and they talking about how well he could write. So he asked me, I was locked up in Georgia. So it was only 3 guys from D.C. was in Georgia. It was like 3,000 inmates, but it was only 3 guys in Georgia, and we happened to be in the same dorm. So they was talking about his writing and his books. And I read the book. I read a chapter, and I wasn't reading the one. He said, "Why?" I said, "Because this is my life, and I think it's corny for us to keep on talking about, the negative stuff that we're doing." So he looked at me. I said, "We got to learn to write something different." He was like, "Well, what you talking about? Young. What you talking about?" I said, "Well, let's do something different. Let's do something that's going to have an impact. I'm tired of reading these books about killing and drug dealing. I lived a life. It's not a good life. You know what I'm saying? It's a life that every drug dealer want to get out of."
Right, right.
So once I sat down, he was like, "What you think?" And I just started thinking. And it happened that night, The Wizard of Oz came on. I said, you know what? I said, man, we got to do that in go-go. and then immediately after I said that, we sat down and we started talking. And I started pushing out stuff. And we sitting there laughing. I'm like,
Same thing.
Talking about laughter.
So at that point, I had a cell phone in prison. I had a legal cell phone in prison. I was still cutting up in prison. So I had a legal cell phone. I called Anwan Glover, known as Big G, of the Wire and Backyard Band. And I said, what did you think about this idea? And he said, The Wiz is my favorite go-go, my favorite movie. And I said, The Wiz? I said, you know what? We're going to take the W off and go-go, we're going to put a G, we're going to call it Giz.
That's so creative.
Yeah.
Now, we do know there's a difference between The Wiz and The Wizard of Oz.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between the Wiz and the Giz.
That's right.
And there's a big difference.
A big difference. Give us a little bit snippet of how
I'm going to give you a couple of snippets because I've been giving it out.
Okay.
So, it's DC.
Okay.
First thing I cut, we can't gonna bring no dog. We're not gonna bring the dog because
Toto, huh?
yeah,
There's no totals of the
because
bulldog.
Dorothy coming through DC, she gonna need a chaperone. No one just can come in this city and just And you got to remember, I was locked up, so I never seen the new DC. I'm from Ward 8.
Okay.
So
Ward
when
8.
I've never that other side. When I came, I said, "What is this?" And I was scared. I broke down. I said, "What is this?" So and we used to have a saying like, "If you ain't got a pass, you can't come across that bridge."
Yeah.
That was
Right.
one of our saying, and we meant that. So I was like, "Nah, she needs a chaperone. She can't come in with no dog. That's not gonna work."
Not no little teeny dog.
So we created a
Right,
chaperone,
bulldog.
and his name is WB, and that's all I'm gonna give you.
Okay.
And then I say, okay, Dorothy. We started making a name. I said, you know what? She can't be named Dorothy neither. I said, that's DC.
Nah.
So I said, we're going to call her Dottie. So we came up with Dottie. Now, y'all, throughout the show, when y'all see that, y'all going to know why we call her Dottie. So y'all probably already can figure out why we call her Dottie. Can y'all? Let's try it then. First go. No. Yeah, it's a song, actually. So I gave y'all, when I say this gonna be entertaining, it's gonna be entertaining.
Costumes and all.
Costumes and all gonna be entertaining, but mostly the dialogue and another thing. Well, I have Anwan Glover, Big G playing the Tin Man. So I tell you, what I've been learning with God is I have this knack when the door closed, I know how to recover quick.
That's right.
And that might be from when I was in the street, or it might be from I had to take care of my mother when I was young, and we had to hide from the service, the protect serve, whatever the people called. We had to hide from them because my mother was on drugs, so I had to do quick thinking to make sure me and my brothers were never separated.
Awesome.
So
Skills. Yeah.
so when Genghis called me, I'm talking about about 3 weeks ago, and said I can't do the show because I have other obligations to a movie. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, how do you replace him? You can't, not in this city. I said, you know what can replace him? 93% of women buy tickets. I said, I'm going to make a 10 ma.
Okay.
I said, it's never been done. So now we're not going to have a 10 man.
10 man.
Have a 10 ma. And then my partner looked at me and he was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just think about it.
You got it.
He said, no, we can't do that. I said, think about a woman with no heart. And he said,
Oh, a lot of
Oh.
women. A lot of women.
we're going to do the 10 ma. We're going to do the 10 ma.
Timon.
And that came into fruition.
Right.
And we grabbed Sugar Bear and we here.
All right.
Sugar Bear, I must say, is my long
wow.
year brother that's hanging out there. Because I am a born and raised. I'm a native New Yorker, but born and raised when I came to New York. Southeast all my life. All of the bands, EU, who we call Experience Unlimited. You may not even know that, but it's called EU. And
EU.
Charles Stevenson was their manager at the time, and I was just hanging out with them as not only a groupie, but one of the ones who were doing some things business-wise with E. And I go a long way with Sugar Bear.
Awesome.
Well, the funny thing is about me, I never liked it in my city.
Wow. Really?
I didn't fall into love of my city until I came back home.
Came back home.
Okay.
I never liked the DC. I started early, and it just wasn't a good place for me. Like I tell people, like I was in the hood, I was doing what I had to do, and I never wanted to be there. So, you know, I moved to North Carolina early. I wasn't a big fan. I love go-go, but I wasn't a big fan of Washington, D.C. When I went to prison and I saw how other people was ignorant about where they're from and these places, and everybody talk about their culture, that made me start getting back into my culture.
To appreciate it.
Everybody else loved DC.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's when I came home. I said, well, I'm going to set the city on fire. I could have been done it a long time. I've been in a lot of projects in the city, but I stayed in the background because I sold drugs. Like I was one of the first guys to produce the Go-Go Awards. Nobody would know that because I stayed in the background.
In the background. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know, like, this is like huge. You know,
Is it
like,
really?
we're all so proud of you. I know I'm
Yeah.
so
Really?
proud of you.
Yes.
I want to know, how did you get MGM Grand? I mean, how did
Okay.
That's a great question.
Like I said, it's like God. It's like God
Yeah, he
again.
opened
The
the
funny
door.
thing is, the MG here didn't want the show.
I'm
We pitched it
guaranteed
here.
that.
They said no. They
No.
turned us down. And I'm like, you know, when the door closed, another one opened. So I said, well, they don't want to hear. Let's call out Vegas.
Wow.
We called out Vegas.
And they wanted it.
And they said, well, what are you guys are talking about? We sent the synopsis over there. We said, man, this will be huge. Da-da-da-da. They said, no. They said, no, we can't do it. So we started looking at the Warner Theater. Came back about 3 weeks later, the guy called back and said, hey, you remember who we are? We said, yeah. Well, we were working for like a whole year. It was a whole year
To
process.
work that, yeah.
So he called like 3 weeks. We had a show called What Your Man Want to Do at the Lincoln Theater,
Okay, right.
I remember
which
that.
sold out. So 3 weeks later, we got a call. He said, you guys remember me? Like, yeah, we remember you. He said, you know, we did our homework on you guys, and we did the homework on the region. He said, we think this is something we want to get involved with.
Excellent.
Isn't that something?
Excellent. Wow.
So,
Wow.
you know, the MG here first told us, like, we need a deposit of $50,000. So then we was like, well, we can't afford give y'all the money. So the guy was out in Vegas like, well, look, don't worry about the MGM there. They're nothing. We control everything.
Wow.
He said, we're going to let you get it for no deposit. And if you can sell these tickets within such time, we're going with the show. So nobody know that we have. Y'all the first one I told. So we put the tickets on sale, and we had a good push for the first week. And they're like, okay, the show is going to happen. So that's basically how it happened. They gave us the show. You know, he called back and he said he wanted the show. And what people don't know, if we sell out,
When we sell out.
they talking about we sit down and talk for residency.
Yeah.
I can't say that word residency
Right.
at the MGM.
Residency.
Now, when I tell people that, I say, well,
That's
now that's the check.
That's
Yes,
an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, we want you all to go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
support
Go.
our
Yeah,
play. This is our
Go
play.
for the
You
kids.
know what I
Right.
mean by
Go for the
our
kids,
It is
y'all.
our play.
The kids.
Yeah.
Can you
Go
give them the website information on how they can go and purchase tickets?
Ticketmaster.com.
Ticketmaster.com.
Look up the gears.
And give them
Yes.
the date and
They
time.
August 19th, 6 p.m. at the MGM Theater.
One show so far.
One show
Yeah, one
only.
so show.
I gotta
We're
go.
taking it to Richmond too.
Oh,
good.
we're
That's
doing,
awesome.
we're doing a little something now.
So we're going to have you back so you can give us some post-production
That's right.
information on
Yeah.
how it all went and all the excitement and have some of the cast come
man,
in
I can't
wait.
and
Yeah.
talk about it as well. So let's do that.
Okay,
Once
okay.
we're done,
I saw them
set
on
it up.
Fox.
I did too.
I did too.
Monday
No,
or Tuesday. And I'm telling you, I was like glued to the TV. I'm like, I
was
can't
on my
believe
way
this.
out. I
It was
couldn't-
awesome. Y'all did a beautiful job.
Just want you to know, my brother, my sister-in-law, myself, we will be there.
Hey, we got
she's
some
trying to make us-
prizes.
making us
We
feel
got
bad,
some
huh?
surprises. We got a candy lady and everything. I'm telling you, we
That's
we
a
done
wonderful thing.
we done put it
Put it
some things
together.
Oh, that's
We
awesome.
So we should
Can't
be
wait.
proud. And one thing I'll say before I leave, this is the first time I don't really care about being in the MGM.
Right.
But what was important to me to have 4 generations of Washingtonians in the same building. It's
Yes.
never been done. Like my grandmother's going to be there. You know, my mother's going to be there. You know, my brother there and my daughter going to be there. Like
Oh,
my
wow,
kids,
that's
like we have
awesome.
generation watching Tony's here, and this is the first time you have all of them in the building.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Together.
Together to
So we have
see this
young
work.
and old. First time ever in the Golden
Family.
River to
That's
have
the
everybody.
family show.
Because you know we party different, we move different.
Right,
But
right.
this will be the first time everybody's in the
Yeah,
building.
but we all understand.
We
the
understand the
all
same
We
language.
do. We do. We all get it. We
Welcome.
all go. We all like to move.
Yeah. Well, listen, Lavelle, this has been an awesome opportunity to interview you and to talk about this as a playwright, and we wish you blessings.
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing but blessings.
Success and prosperity to come.
we're gonna
Because now
spread
the
the
door is
word.
open because now people can relate not only to the Wiz, and this is going to be probably a new TV possibility movie. We don't know.
We don't know.
They may come.
Well,
we already know.
I'm writing a series too.
Okay.
And it's real good.
Speaking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy that you joined us. But you know that on Four Sisters Live, we have Conversation Continues. This is our health
right.
and wellness segment that we're going to go right into. We got some
yeah.
people, our guests, that's going to talk about what it is to continue to be healthy on the other
Healthy
side of this
on
break.
the other side.
But we thank our guest, Sylvia Traymore, to
Yeah.
come in today to talk about her
Yeah.
history. That was so
That was
awesome.
great.
Opportunity to talk about the gigs. It all came together.
Yes.
It sure
The gigs
did.
and the
shows
entertainment world
you.
came together today. And this was such a great day to have you all. We laughed. It's part of health.
I know. It's part of health.
It's a part of us staying healthy, and we're
Yes.
going to support you.
Oh,
yes.
We're going to definitely be
Definitely.
there to
We're
do
gonna
it.
get the
Before-
word out.
Look, we want to come in on the first. We're going to be the first. Right. It's not the
Right.
second when it comes back
Right.
next time, but
Yes.
we'll be there, and we want you to be there at the MGM Grand
Yes.
on August the 19th.
19th.
For further information, contact them and go to Ticketmaster.com to get your tickets.
Represent.
Represent. We
Southeast.
Right. Southeast.
And it's going to end at the big chair.
Yeah.
All just the big chair.
Big chair. Y'all gotta know about the big chair.
Yeah.
I know about the big chair.
Wow.
Speaking of time,
What time is it?
Till you end up with dun, 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 dun. Give us one of them. Dun, 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 dun. It's time for you to walk in your purpose and prosperity. We love you for watching. See you next time.
You're going to have to rock with us. Right.
Always sisters, always.